Oh my god, it came, it finally came. So I have bought from eBay the Ghost Train from Monster Fighters. I bought it for £50 total, and the retail price was £60, which is pretty good, so I saved myself a tenner. I wanted this a while back. I said to myself, is it worth getting? And my parents said, you know what, no. Oh, pardon me. But my dad in particular said no because of the fact that these wheels aren't really for the railway, but I do have other pieces where I can change that. I'm going to make some more changes to this area as well because that's fixed in place. So I've got the box open already. Let's see what condition it came in. It showed all the parts were there. Oh god. Got some track ready as well. Oh, look at all that. It's fresh in the box. Gosh. One thing I'm looking forward to the most are the glow-in-the-dark pieces, like the ghosts, you can see them there, and the massive train wheels. I love those parts. Let's try and... There we go, I got some kind of light. Here we go, that's a good sort of angle on them. 2 flanges, 2 blinds. Ooh. Oh no, oh yeah, never mind. 4 flanges, there's no blinds for this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make this model, and I will come back in a second to review it. So already, whilst making this, it gets caught there. Now this feels like something at the back, getting caught onto this bit. I'm not actually sure what is doing that. The cow catcher is a bit low down as well, but there's no reason... Oh, there we go. There's no reason for it to get stuck at all. Okay, so here is the whole set put together, and this, as a set, is incredible. When you look at the train and how it's put together and all the pieces that make it what it is and all the details, it is just brilliant. It's literally one of the best things ever. But in terms of practicality, it's actually really useless. So it has the 2 instruction booklets, which are really nice, very cool. This goes through the plane and the train in this one, and all the cars that the train pulls in this one. So all of that lot, which I think is very cool. Let's move those out of the way. We'll go into the plane to get this out of the way. Now the plane, this is one of the best looking planes I've ever seen. Now of course this has a lot of features on it. It has like these acid sort of gun shooter thingies. It reminds me of the acid gap from Mob of the Dead on Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Very cool indeed. Has this huge barrel, I guess is where it holds all the ooze. On the engine sort of piece, it has revolver guns as like the kind of barrels or pipes of the engine. And it has some features where you can shoot these out, which I think... Oh, hang on, let me try that again. Yeah, sure, why not. But yeah, those are very nice, very cool indeed. Let's try and put those back in. Oh, there's one. And there is 2. Has some golden features as well, which you can see at the end. These are like nozzles to shoot out more, maybe. Not really sure what they do, but it's very cool indeed. There's space for 1 person, of course. Definitely really a cool model. Mini English. Brake separator. I've got a couple of these now. Very nice to have one of these. Now, let me shuffle forward to the set. So why don't we start off with the train. Oh, try not to break anything. Bugger. Okay, cool. So, the train as a whole. To start off with, this is all one piece. All the wheels are in fixed locations. But it looks very cool. So it has bones going along the top. A mixture of black and white and a bit of grey near the back and at the top as well. Massive green flame coming out the funnel, which has a glow-in-the-dark feature, as well as the face. The face is a bit wonky, but very cool indeed. One of my favourite features, 2 of my favourite features I should say, are the large train wheels that come with it, because as a LEGO train fan, that is quite the demand, as well as the cow catcher at the front. Now, you saw earlier in the video that I had a quick test with this on the tracks. and when it came across the points, it was bumping against one of the sections of the track. I thought it was actually at the back here, but turns out there was a little cross section that was clipping at the cowcatcher around here on the actual point. Sure, why not? But yeah, I think that's one stud too low. I think I would have to raise that in order to allow it to go on tracks when I modify this, and I will modify this. I saw this mock model of the best looking ghost train ever. What I'll do is I'll link that in the description. You must have a look at that. It is insanely amazing. Which is kind of one of the main things that pushed me to buy this, but still I wanted to buy this anyway. So what I'll do now, I'll get the carriages ready. Alright, so here we have two of the same things. We have the kind of little driver wagons. I'm not entirely sure what you would call these, but they're individual cars for one person or for one ghost, and they do look really cool. So one main feature is that they have the wings to flap up and down. There's no cogs in the middle, it's all in the wheels. So if I try and take one of these off, careful, here we go. So now you can see the internal works. This goes around and that's what bumps it to go up and down. There we go. So you can see this connection piece here is what is going against this, allowing it to go up and down, which I think is pretty cool. But I am going to be taking those off to replace with train wheels, and I'm on about these ones in a moment. So at the end of the video, that is going to be done in clips, or you can just skip to go straight to there now if you want. That's your choice, but I would prefer if you stuck around, please. But going back to this, let's have the wings down, please. Thank you. Ultimately, this is a really cool, just little wagon. It has one ghost in there. It's sort of thing where you would drive behind to make sure that the prisoner isn't trying to escape or anything. And the fact that you come with two is pretty good. If it came with one, I think it would be a bit disappointing, so they kind of make up for it to, you know, to kind of make you want to buy a little bit more. So let me now move these two out of the way and bring in the prison car, I believe it's called. Not necessarily a passenger car, because first of all, this is tiny. Second of all, it's not something you would want to ride in. I can't open the doors. So yeah, these are actually doors, the bone skeleton sort of doors. They have a little light on them, as you can see there. These are really nice. So inside I have one of the Monster Fighter characters. I'm not entirely sure what the name is, because I didn't really look up upon the lore of the story rather of the Monster Hunters. But looking around with all the bones there, with all the spikes and all the kind of green pieces, it does look so good. And I like how they have these sort of pieces between all of the wheels, which I think is quite nice. So yeah, there's again very small. It's 4 studs wide originally, but the roof is 6 long, and that is that's a 6x8 piece, but it has a couple of extra details. But yeah, you can either stick a ghost in there if you want to, but ideally you want to have like a ghost on the top. So tell you what, let's go get a ghost now and stick him on. There we go. One thing I do like as well is the glow in the dark feature. So all these ghost hoods will all glow in the dark. The train face glows in the dark, as well as the flame. And there are a couple of poles as well that have some glow in the dark features. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a bit of everything in here. Get these all in. Let's actually see these wings go up and down. Oh, look at that. Very cool indeed. So, there we go. That is the Ghost Train and the plane reviewed. As a set, if you can get a hold of one, then get one. But I would say try and get it below its retail price. So for me, as I live in England, it was £60. Whatever the regional equivalence is, I'm not entirely sure, because, again, live in England, so I would focus on pounds sterling. But it's definitely a set you should get if you want to modify it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut to a scene where I have the wheels replacing one of these and this. I'm going to leave one of these to the side, because I don't want to make too many changes. Oh, pardon me. I'm also going to get the custom passenger / prison coach that I made a while back, and I'm going to put it all on the tracks and see how well this works, so I'll see you in a second. Right then, 1 second later. Modifications I've made, we now have train wheels on one of the kind of wagons and the prisoner car. I've got a little monster on the top, can't remember what the actual name is, like a Frankenstein monster I think. So these wheels have been applied, of course, like I just said, but in case you weren't able to identify them. I also have my custom mock coach thingy, whatever you want to call it, attached, well, not necessarily attached, but it's behind. And when you look at it from an angle, it kind of fits, but it all needs to be changed so it all works together. Ultimately, when you kind of just look at them as one thing, this sort of thing does look nice, to be honest. It really does have a monster, scary feel. But ultimately, it still needs its modifications if it is going to be run on the tracks, of course. Again, the wheels on the actual locomotive are fixed. There is a bit of a height issue as well with these couplings and these wheels, so I can move these around freely right now. They're not actually touching the track. There is a perfect level here, of course, but between here there is an issue. But again, that's all going to get changed and made to look so much more awesome. But as a whole, I think this is one of the best models I've ever bought. It's a new addition to the LEGO Railway, and I bid thee welcome. So thank you all ever so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and enjoy some black and white clips of this train in action. Bye.